Every platform I review sits somewhere on one axis: how much of the world is simulated versus how much is narrated. AI Dungeon and Friends and Fables live towards the simulation end. Open systems tracking state, and you push on the world to see what gives. Hidden Door is the purest example of the opposite pole I've tested. It's not a simulation at all, it's a narrative engine. Once you understand that one distinction, everything this platform does brilliantly and everything that frustrated me both fall into place. Let's get into it. Hidden Door launched in August 2025 on a premise nobody else in this space attempts: real partnerships with right holders. The launch catalog included, therefore, Call of Cthulhu, Pride and Prejudice, The Wizard of Oz, and more, licensed and public domain worlds with their owners' fingerprints still on them, and the catalog's grown with community worlds since. Under the hood, everything is cards. Characters, items, locations, story beats, all tracked cards, and the narrative itself gets assembled from a massive library of human written tropes: the barb roll, the found weapon, the uneasy alliance, recombined based on your choices. Modifier cards let you remix a world stone entirely. So, one popular community remix I saw trades Dorothy's ruby slippers for chrome claws and sends her down a neon brick road instead. This architecture is the whole review. Everything else follows from it. And here's the honest version of what those trope cards actually buy you: an enormous number of combinations that are at bottom the same tropes. Play one session and it feels genuinely alive. Beats land, characters push back, threads pay off. Play for weeks and you start recognizing the shapes underneath. The combinations are combinatorial huge, sure, but they're finite and authored. Given infinite time, you could enumerate them. This isn't true emergence, it's an expertly maintained illusion of emergence. The seams show if you stare at the same wall long enough. Whether that bothers you depends entirely on what you came for. So, a reader wants a story that works, and Hidden Door delivers that more reliably than anything else I've tested. But a simulationist wants to discover something the designers never planned, and that's precisely what this architecture cannot give you. This was my biggest turnoff. So it gets its own section. Because in AI Dungeon you type like a dragon lands on the tavern. And the dragon lands on the tavern. In Hidden Door, you play the cards the engine deals you, and you can steer, remix, choose, but you can't conjure. So the platform's own creation tools operate between stories, not inside them. Mid-scene, the deck is the deck. Same boundary runs through the mechanics. Combat is narrative based, so it's not simulated, and the inventory too, so there's no dice layer, no stat sheet the fiction has to answer to, because the story is the system. This is an interactive story with real limitations, it's not a pure game. Now, on the other side of the ledger, and this is substantial, because the engine works from bounded, authored components instead of open-ended generation, Hidden Door essentially doesn't have the failure mode that defines this whole category, which is memory drift, dissolving plot threads, worlds that stop feeling real by turn 50. Hidden Door stories don't drift. Characters stay themselves, setups pay off. The world in week 6 behaves exactly like the world in hour 1. So, every free generation platform I review is fighting that war with retrieval systems and summary buffers, and all of them still lose ground eventually. Hidden Door didn't fight the war at all. It constrained the battlefield instead. That's a real architectural achievement, and if you've been burned by one too many collapsed campaigns, you'll feel the difference immediately. A feature most of this field still doesn't have: the world builders and IP owners actually earn money when other people play in their worlds. That's nice. Subscribers get Atlas, the publishing toolkit, and published worlds generate real revenue for their creators. Combined with the right shoulder partnerships underneath the old platform, and that's genuinely novel. A professional creator can put a world here and get paid for the play it attracts instead of donating it to a platform's content pool. What the score rests on? Well, this has the most revealing score profile I've measured, and a single composite number hides all of it. Memory 4, longevity 4. Those are the highest marks I've given on either of the axes. Above every platform reviewed here, matched only by Wordtail. It also carries player agency 1 and mechanical 1, both the joint lowest on the site. So these aren't two separate facts, they're the same fact. Hidden Door is best in class at the two things players complain most about: worlds that forget and campaigns that fall apart. And it gets there specifically by not letting you do whatever you want. So bound the possibility space to altered cards, and consistency becomes solvable. The coherence is the payoff, not creating at will is the price. So every platform I've scored well on agency scores bad on longevity. And this is the cleanest proof I have that those axes genuinely trade off against each other. Hidden Door is the most coherent AI storyteller I've tested, and one of the only platforms actually paying the people who build its worlds. It earns real points for both of these verdicts, but the same architecture that gives it that coherence takes the pen out of your hand. You're a co-author working inside someone else's deck. You're never the god of your own world. If you're coming from the simulation side of this category, you'll feel the walls fast, and no amount of polish moves them. My Hidden Door rating is 2.7 stars out of 5. If long campaign coherence is what's failed you everywhere else, this is the highest score option in my old directory on exactly that axis. Don't let the composite number hide that from you. If you want to read the full written review, it's linked down below, with the fact on pricing and how this stacks up directly against AI Dungeon if you are deciding between the simulation and narrative ends of the spectrum. Until the next time, thank you for watching, goodbye.